of longevity, and you can find that in the kitchen. Longevity dietitian and gut health expert Ella DeVar is back with her famous beet soup recipe. Ella, thanks for sticking around.
I'm so excited for you to try this recipe. You have no idea.
And this recipe, by the way, is famous. You
Yes.
actually started cooking live for people during the pandemic.
Yes.
When you you were stuck in the mountain area,
Yes.
right?
And there's nothing else to do other than have fun in the kitchen. So I was cooking this live, and the school that I graduated from, NYU, picked it up and they blasted. Now every time you Google this soup, which is called borscht, it's a Polish word for beet soup, my name comes up on NYU Food Lab website.
That is so cool. So talk to me about some of the ingredients that go into this.
So this is basically a salad with bone broth. You know, it's a lot of vegetables, right? But don't let the ingredient list scare you. It's very easy. It's a one-pot dish, and we begin by chopping up and prepping vegetables. I mean, it's a good thing to have, like a good knife skills, you know. But I did all the job for us. So we begin with sautéing.
Okay.
We can turn this on.
All right.
And we'll saute some onions and carrots in one pot with a little bit of olive oil. Actually, maybe not a little bit, maybe like half a cup of olive oil. You know, we don't measure, we're just trying to make it as delicious as possible. So we begin with sauteing some of the root vegetables here together. The green leafy vegetables such as cabbage and celery go last, we'll remember that. And we're gonna add some beets as soon as this starts to heat up.
Okay, so talk to me about the beets. Did you pre-cook the beets? Like, how did you get them diced so beautifully like that?
Well, I do have excellent knife skills, but for those who don't, you can shred them, which makes it easier. But I only shred if I cook for older people. For young people, I just chop them up fresh like this. So this soup, you can also saute with some olive oil separately. I just make it all together, and this is fresh. This is fresh
so that's
beets.
an actual beet.
Yes.
All right, so you skin it and then you chopped it up, but it's not cooked already?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay.
Look, this is a dietitian healthified version of it. You can pre-cook it, you could roast it, you could saute it separately. But for me, remember how I said this is a salad with the bone broth? Like, I just love feeling my vegetables that are still alive and crunchy.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So we're gonna add those in next.
The next, so we begin with onions, carrots, and beets, and then we'll put the tablespoon of tomato paste.
Okay.
Tomato paste, you'll notice how all of these ingredients, they're so colorful, and this is what the soup is about, combining all of these nutrient-dense vegetables of creating this concoctions that is absolutely delicious and low in calories because it's mostly vegetables. There's one secret ingredient to it, because this soup is famous in Jewish and Polish cuisine, and it's actually translated into beet soup that is sour. Okay?
I love it.
And for acidity, sometimes people use a lemon juice or sugar. I don't like to use that, so this is my trick. I just add a little bit of apple cider vinegar that also helps to preserve the beet color.
Okay, I love it. I love apple cider vinegar. It's so delicious.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's high in probiotics. So I use just 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna let that simmer for a while.
All right.
Add a little bit of salt. Okay, and then next, after maybe 10 or 15 minutes of simmering in, when the vegetables are softened up, and then we'll add some bone broth, which is on your side.
Okay.
Again, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you could definitely use a vegetable stock. But knowing me, I like to capitalize on all my nutrients, and bone broth is hugely beneficial for gut health.
Am I putting it all in or just part of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on how you like your density of your soup, I like mine to be with a lot of broth.
Okay.
Look how beautiful that already looks.
It is beautiful, yeah.
So bone broth, hugely beneficial for gut health, helps to repair the gut lining because this is naturally rich in naturally occurring collagen.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
That's why I love using bone broth, but for everyone else, they could absolutely use vegetable stock. Okay, some salt and pepper and Italian seasoning. I definitely love using all types of herbs here. Oregano, thyme is my favorite, and I just grab a combination of herbs to make that happen. All right, so we'll let that simmer for a little bit and then add some potatoes. They also take a while to cook. The beauty of this soup is that it takes around like half an hour to make, but it gets better the next day because all the vegetables get to really soften up and exchange flavors. And the next day, it's just a divine combination.
I love this. And so once you cut it, you're saying, and you put it all into the one pot recipe,
Yeah.
you let it cook for about 30 minutes.
We begin with root vegetables because they cook the longest, and we saute them with a little bit of olive oil first, and then we add potatoes and bone broth.
Okay.
Forgot my garlic.
All right, gotta
I know
have
you
the
love it.
garlic. Yeah, I love it.
But you don't have to add it. I know a lot of people are sensitive to it, but when it gets cooked, it's digested much easier.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Then one of the last ingredients, at the very end, we add some cabbage. Go ahead.
All right, I'll add
Maybe
the cabbage.
Like 10-15 minutes.
And we have about 30 seconds, and you also added celery to this.
Well, celery, it doesn't usually go in traditional recipe, but this is my dietitian upgraded recipe.
Okay.
Okay. And the last thing that I'm going to add are beans. Beans are high in fiber and protein, and I love adding a little bit of protein to my soups.
This looks amazing, Ella.
Now I want you to try it.
All right. I'm going to take a little bite of the beet soup
It
here.
usually comes with sour cream, but I love using yogurt, high in protein with a little bit of garlic, kind of like tzatziki with dill.
It's delicious, Ella. It's so good, like all of your recipes. And speaking of which, we're going to share this recipe online. And when we come